Welcome to Klana's Magnificent Life Talk. Klana, that's me. In this show, we explore conscious sexuality, body, mind, and spirituality, and how this is connected with our personal growth and our relationships. Discover how to live a magnificent life at ease with more pleasure, harmony, and an amazing and fulfilling sexuality. Welcome to Klana's Magnificent Life Talk. Today, again, with one of my regular guests, Vincent Clohessy. Welcome, Vincent.
Thank you, Klana. Okay, so it seems, Klana, that everybody is starved for time these days.
That's
it's like
true.
There's so much going on. There's so many different areas of life that cause us to have to attend to all sorts of things, just work and keeping up with people and getting your laundry done and dry cleaning and shopping, picking up the kids, dropping them off, partners, all this sort of, all these demands on our time. And our relationship, which is often negotiable, can often just be put to the back, and we can kind of defer and just put things off and think, well, we'll do that next weekend. Well, that can just become the norm, and you just haven't spent quality time with your partner. And this seems to be something that people are having a lot of trouble with, as you mentioned. So we've got a couple of solutions, a couple of ideas that we feel will help to just look at the what's happening for you and time with your partner, and what you can do to generate what you need from wanting more time. Because it's not just the time that we want. There's something in spending the time together that's like the gift. That's the thing that we're actually after, rather than just spending days and days with each other.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of like the overall view of the topic we're going to talk about for the next short while.
Absolutely. Yeah, so my suggestion is, if you are really short on time and you really want to meet, that's another question. How are your priorities? Is that true?
Indeed, yes. Yeah. Well, people who are like our regular guests will have heard us speak about the 5 love languages, which is like a profile of the way that we prefer to love and be loved. And quality time is one of the highest values. It's one of the 5 values. And for me, that actually, Klana, is one of my top values, is quality time. And but it might not be for my partner, or it might be that my partner has quality time as a high value and I don't. I think things are just fine the way they are, and the amount of time we spend together is fine by me. So if my partner's or I am feeling a lack of this quality time together, I need to be careful that I'm not making demands on my partner to fulfill on my needs if I haven't checked in to find out if they have a similar value. Because if they haven't, it would be unfair for me to expect them to understand quite what it means to me to have quality time, or for it to be that important to them. There may be other things, physical touch, acts of service that are more important to them rather than the quality time. So it could be important to me, but my partner, it's not a thing. Maybe her career is what takes like 12 hours of her day, and she's really lit up and inspired and energized by this area of her life. And if I'm trying to drag her away from that, it can occur as like a demand on something that's really important to her. And it doesn't mean she doesn't love me, or she's not affectionate, or there's no care. It's just that we've got different ways of relating to time.
Exactly. And there we are again, immediately in our most important topic, communication. So you should really communicate what you want, and if your partner doesn't see it that way, make it clear why it's so important to you, and then negotiate what's going to happen.
Yeah, and if you're really clever, Klana, not only communicate why it's important to you, but connect it to what's important to them.
Exactly.
So there's certain fulfillments that they require and things that they need and want, and you can actually connect the two if you're well trained in these things. So it doesn't occur to them as like, you need to give me this thing and this thing's about me, it's about me getting it. It's actually, there's a mutual exchange, a mutual benefit,
of course,
which is a win-win, which is perfect. So it might be like, say, like for instance, Klana, say my thing's quality time, and for my partner, let's say she has her career as a very high value. Acts of service could be really something very important to her, me supporting her so that she can fully turn up in her work the way she wants to. And so there's certain things that she might require to be able to perform at a very high level. And that might be keeping fit. So an opportunity there would be to go to the gym together, to go running together, to make a workout together. So she's getting her value of being fit and at her best fulfilled, and I'm getting my value of quality time also fulfilled. So then again, it's like a win-win.
Yes,
and
perfect.
It would occur to her as something really quite easy to accept, and it doesn't interfere with things that are really important to her.
Yes. And you mentioned another word before, that was expectation. So never expect anything from your partner, please.
And especially don't communicate that you have an expectation. For me, if there's an agreement, you and I have agreement, then I can expect you to fulfill on your agreement. But if I haven't communicated that to you and you haven't agreed, if I have this expectation, it almost is a bit like entitlement. And that's not a positive element to have in your relationship. Because my partner owes me nothing, doesn't even owe me being there. They're completely free and I have no claim on them other than just being available and present to have a relationship with them. But there aren't these terms and conditions that they have to fulfill unless they've agreed to them. The idea that for me, inside of wanting to spend time with my partner, there are certain things that I hope to get from spending that time together. And so I don't need 8 hours with my partner in order to get those things fulfilled if that can get done in an hour or two. So it's not about this huge amounts of time. It's actually about the time we are spending together, delivering what it is that I want. So it's definitely quality time rather than quantity time. And if I get clear about what is it that I gain from quality time, I can be much more assertive in having those things happen, rather than not being quite sure what it is I'm after, but I've got this vague idea that I want some time together. So for me, like I'm very romantic, so having kind of like intimacy and lots of touch and lots of just kind of like the two of us in our little couple bubble, that's very important to me. So if that's delivered, then I'm okay with that. So being clear about what you want is
absolutely. And then another possibility would be to handle your partnership quality time in the same way than you would handle your business appointments. So just agree on make an appointment, schedule a date where you meet. And that on a regular basis would even be better if possible.
It sounds so unromantic, Klana.
But
and it sounds so kind of like robotic, or like something to do with school or work, where you have to be there, and that can be how it occurs to you. But it's much better to have that occurring than to break up. I would much rather be thinking, well, it's not really that spontaneous, kind of losing a bit the juice there, way better than the deterioration of the relationship and then having to deal with that, because that's a lot worse. And what I found, Klana, is it's exciting for me to know when and where I'm going to spend time with my partner. And I have a lot of needs that come up through the week, I'm horny and I want sex. I want to talk. I want to plan. I want to play. I want to do all these sorts of things, and they can come up at different times with different strengths throughout the week when we're apart. Mm-hmm. And it can lead to frustration if I don't have a clear idea of when and how those needs are going to get met. But if I know on Friday at 7 o'clock till 7 p.m. till Saturday 2 p.m. it's just the two of us, I can relax. I know all those things are going to get taken care of. It's like I can put them on the back burner or somewhere where they're not going to bother me, knowing that that's coming up. And another thing I find interesting about the scheduling is it inspires me to think about what's going to happen and what I'd like to do. And now I've got something to plan with. I can, think, okay, well, I can get some flowers delivered for 12 o'clock on Saturday because I know she's going to be there. So that's helpful. And it opens up and it allows for a lot of different magic to turn up. So I might lose a bit of spontaneity, but I gain a hell of a lot in what I can put into that time. But the key is actually here, it doesn't mean there's no spontaneity.
No,
I can be spontaneous
in the appointment,
or even outside of it.
Yeah.
I can still create spontaneous time together.
Yeah,
It's not a this or that. It's not an all or nothing. It's just that I know that's in the diet. And to me, it's like, it's a good idea to breathe. Oxygen's important for the body, and time together, quality time, is the same for a relationship. And if you starve the relationship of that, you're going to pay the consequences. But like time, like breathing, they say steady, regular breath can calm you down. It's the same in the relationship. Regular, consistent time, quality time spent together will calm the relationship down. Gives you the space to connect, talk, share, get stuff off of your chest. If there's something bothering you, you've got that time together. You have to share. And you're not like thinking, are they going to run off? Do they have to go and do this? You're not kind of catching them when they're flying out the door. You've got that time to bring up stuff that you'd really like to talk about.
Yes, wonderful.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I've got a few ideas actually, yeah, which is we already spend a lot of time together, Klana. We are in partnership.
Yeah.
And these are times that you can set aside for quality time. So maybe if you commute together, you drive in the car, you do it once a week, you go to the shopping, whatever it might be. You can designate these times where you keep the phone down. You can put the phones away and it's just the two of you. So you have these little pockets of time here and there throughout the week that you just declare this is our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. That's also a good idea.
Mm.
Cool. So I hope that helps you a little bit. And if you have other ideas to add to ours, you are very welcome to put them in the comments. And if you have any further questions, of course, you are very welcome to contact us.
Klana, can I add one more little nugget before I go?
Yeah.
Another great thing to do is when you do come together, is to spend 10 minutes checking in. Spend 10 minutes connecting. So that the time you do have, you have both got onto the same frequency. Mm-hmm. So if you come in at these different levels, you're not really going to feel that the time together is high quality. But if you can just take a few minutes just to look each other in the eye and keep the gaze, tune into each other, and then just check how you're doing, what's going on for you, is anything you want to share or anything you want to say, and then have time to get physical. Maybe it's going to be something simple, just like holding each other's hands, having a kiss, a hug, whatever it might be. Yeah. But just create that connection, and then the time that comes after will be of a different quality, and that'll be a much, much better quality of time.
Thank you for adding that.
You're welcome, Klana. It's a pleasure.
And thank you for having been here in the middle of a very important football game.
Yes, Arsenal are playing Liverpool. It's half time now, I think, Klana.
Okay.
So, yeah, but thank you.
thank you very much for showing up again here, for
Always a
your
pleasure. Always a pleasure.
wonderful input. And thank you everybody who is watching live or in the replay. Bye bye, till next time.
Thanks, Klana. Ciao, ciao.